commonly asked question, got worms? Well, this morning we're joined by developer Ralph Rhodes, who's saying it's a good thing to have worms, but different types. All right, good morning, Ralph. So we're talking about composting. Why is that important, and how can we involve worms into this?
Well, composting outside is a common thing in the yard, and it's a similar process that happens in the worm bin that uses microorganisms to process it. But you don't find very many worms in your outside compost because it's too hot, and so we raise them in a confined area, and it works really well that way.
And especially here in Hawaii, the weather is a perfect conditions for this.
Absolutely. That is the nicest part. You can leave them outside. You have to keep them out of the direct sun and out of the direct rain.
And for people that don't know, what kind of process it is, you have some bins to show us. This is going to be part of a presentation coming up this weekend. Why is this important to learn about this?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, especially because it provides a way to recycle material that you've already paid for, and then it gives you a high concentration of organic material for your garden or for your house plants.
Perfect.
And so you get two things from it.
So when people have dinner and they have all this extra food left over, what should they do?
Well, the way it works is that the bin has a grid in the bottom. It's called a self-sorting composting bin. And so as the worms finish the material on the lower level, they then crawl upward. Into the next layer. Oops.
I'll get that.
The next layer, and so they keep moving up. And so by the time it's ready for the garden, 3 months later, you just take it out, and then you start all over again. So it goes around and around. And it allows you reduces the amount of labor involved, and you can go on a vacation for a whole month.
Really?
And the worms will be just fine.
And so do they ever get out of the bins? Are people, nervous about that?
Worms hate light, and so that's one of these particular worms. Not all worms are the same. You won't be able to dig them out of your garden, but once you have these worms, they're called red wigglers, they will reproduce at the speed of light about every 3 months, and so once you start your composter, you should never run out of them, and you can share them with your friends.
Wow, wonderful. This is great. And of course, you've got 2 events coming up. It's going to be Sunday the 13th at 5 p.m., also Tuesday at 9 a.m. That's at Nu'uanu Congregational Church. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. I truly appreciate it. Of course, if you want to learn more information, you can go to our website, KITV.com, and see this full interview once again. All right, more of this morning's top stories after the break. We'll be right back.